Guys, and I'm using that, of course, in a gender-neutral sense. It's almost 2024. There could be legal and personal implications for not doing so. Welcome back to more Fear Mad Point with your host, Madman. We are about to enter the subway section, and I don't know how well I'm going to do at this. I am wired up, fired up, fucked up. But, you know, the common trend between all those different descriptions or descriptors is the word up. We're up. We're moving up in the world. We're crawling our way up through hell. Let's do it together. Better to do it as a group than alone. Even these poor fucks are doing it as a group, and they're doomed. God damn that lighting, man. Look at that. Look at the epic visuals. Whoa! Okay. Now, this area. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. Whoa! Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck me, man. Okay. I forgot about that. Fucking hell, man. Woo! I should have played this during Halloween, but I was not in the mood. Of course, during... Whoa. Man, they're really fucking with you in this. Okay, well, hey. Are you behind there? What the Jesus, man. This is tripping me out. Okay. Whoa, where the fuck did you come from? Dude, what the fuck? There's nobody there. That's some horse shit, if you ask me. Take my anger out on that paint can. He was back here. That's where he was. For fuck's sake. Is that it? The paint cans have spoken. You will be destroyed. Woo! Particle Effects 2005. Marvel. Marvel at the glory. Marvel at my wanton wasting of medkits. Alright, oh man, we got more rockets. Do we even have any left? Oh, okay, alright. We can ammo scum some of that. Very nice. Better than nothing. Okay, well, they're obviously preparing us for another mech section here. Oh god, this part. Okay. Straight up, earlier on, in that sort of chain link fence section, I was thinking of a much, much later section in this expansion, or maybe even the next expansion, where you're in a train yard and the game basically zergs you with a whole bunch of guys, and what makes it difficult is that they have all these train cars, these stationary train cars to hide behind, and they can go inside them too because the doors are open, so it gives them a sort of advantageous maze that they can hide themselves in. So there's parts of that area, whether it's in this expansion or the next one, there's parts of it where you have a bird's eye view of the whole place, and it's like a red herring, because it doesn't matter that you have a bird's eye view because they can still hide. So you have to basically come down into the... You have to basically do, like... There's a lot of ways to do it. You can wait for them to move around and try to snipe them. But they're clever enough that they'll use the cover to avoid your line of sight, and then they'll basically just run up the stairs behind you and fuck you. It's a really satisfyingly challenging area to navigate. Now, is that? Oh my god! 2 more? You spoil me, game. My god, so many rockets. They're so big. 15 out of 15. I just wasted that one. Fuck you. All right. Actually, wait a minute. Did we save right before this? Okay, good. Okay, we're going to leave that there. We're not going to waste our rockets here. Yeah, quiet down. I just heard that fucking transmission, you dumbass. I've hacked into your communication network. I can hear everything you say. So your attempts at subterfuge are pathetic. Actually kill him from this distance? God damn. It's better to lure them out anyway. There's the mech. Let's go ahead and save scum here, because I'm a fucking piece of shit. Let's do it. Come on, you fuck. Where are you? There you are. Holy fuck. Screen shake. God damn. Whoa! Woo! He did! Alright, let's grab the... Oh man, I was afraid they'd shut us off from our epic ammo. Damn straight you've lost contact. I lost contact with your mom, which is a shame, because she really put out. Ho 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 ho. Whoa, hello, sir. You guys are gonna line up like a fucking shooting gallery? Man, that's convenient. Thank you. Appreciate it. Is that all of you? Alright, good. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop this and pick up another. And we're going to leave that one in there because we're almost at full. And if we're able to backtrack, we can ammo scum that a bit more. Very epic. Let's grab that. Now these guys all have shit weapons, so there's no need to really pay too much attention to them. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything worth phoning home about here. Whoa. That just grenades? Oh, it's a med kit. Interesting. Okay. Any candies up here? I mean, this falls down, but I don't think that opens up any... No, it doesn't. The ladies' room. Oh, we can't go in there and watch them go potty. What a shame. So they blocked off the skylights to these trees. I guess that's why they've died. I mean, god damn, give them some light. Fucking animals, man. Think of the trees. Please think of the trees. Now, I think we're supposed to go that way, but there's an elevator here. Can we go anywhere? No. The staircase appears to be blocked off to us. So, I'm guessing there's no secrets to find here. we jump up here? They greased this. They greased that staircase. The developers actually put invisible grease on here, which means we can't jump up like we normally would be able to. And I'm sure that we can't jump up this either. Yeah, they've... Yeah, okay. Alright, I see how it is. No fun allowed. Alright, I get it. Follow the predetermined path. It's almost like well-designed games have to have that type of path. If they're totally open and free, most players just fuck around and don't do anything. Okay. Hopefully, again, we can backtrack to grab more rocket ammo, because this next area fucking sucks. This whole subway section, there's a lot of choke points where they spam you with a bunch of tanky enemies. Oh, what's in here? Oh, a bunch of garbage guns. Okay, we're going to go ahead and not take those. Whoa. Yeah, no shit, son. These fuckers are fast, man. I couldn't have hit him if I tried. Oh, man. Fuck you, dude. Alright, I have a memory of another... Why am I getting insane lag here? What the fuck? I'm getting like 20 frames. What the fuck's going on? Alright, cool. It's because something's gonna burst through that wall or something. Okay, can we go in here? No. Whoa! Oh, right. Excuse me. Alright, we're going to go ahead and grab the med kit that was back up here that we couldn't pick up a second ago. What does this say? Midtown University of Art. LASIK surgery. Visionaries. Optical. I'm sensing a bit of an eye theme. 105 eyes? Incredible. What could they be saying with that subtext? So subtle and artistic. I wonder what it could mean. The key is a gaming computer? Buy or sell? Should I buy or sell a gaming computer? These are the philosophical questions of our age. Whoa, hey, bro, come on, man. Ruining the Let's Play here. Come on, don't you know at least 3 people are watching this? Fuck's sake, man. You guys are inconsiderate. I apologize, guys. I mean, you can't really account for rudeness or rude people. It's just a fact of life. Okay, what do we got back here? Shitty gun and a grenade I can't pick up. Oh, we got a secret candy zone, though, so we're going to have to go and check that out. Probably before we move on, but I want to scope this little portion of the level out. Okay, this is definitely blocked off. Alright, we're supposed to go that way then. Oh, fuck you. Don't close on me. Some paranormal shit. That's not paranormal, that's just a glitch. If you think something in this game is a glitch, it's actually an intentional paranormal set piece. It's a great excuse. I don't know why I'm getting crazy frame drops. Maybe, is that going to be better now that we've loaded a new area? I don't know. This is running really poorly all of a sudden for some reason. I don't know why. The remote viewing app that some agent installed on my computer must be slowing it down. I got 64 gigs of RAM just so that I could be surveilled better, and that's not even working, so, you know... it's not much more I can do, guys, I'm sorry. Straight up, imagining that you're important enough to be surveilled, that's an ego thing. I think a lot of those sort of schizo habits are people with inflated egos that are desperate to imagine that they're worth paying attention to. And so they invent elaborate scenarios in which they're actually worth being monitored. It's like abandonment issues combined with an inflated ego will cause people to invent fantasy reasons for being surveilled and actually desire surveillance, but also hate it at the same time because they hate the part of themselves that wants the surveillance. Like it's like a fucking, it's like a psychological quagmire. Quagmire is a swamp, by the way. For those of you who only think it's a Family Guy character, a quagmire is a swamp. That's what the term actually means. Can we get out of here now? Ooh. Okay. Alright. So for real, this is one of the shitty areas. Or if it's not, it's about to be... Are we past the little... Oh shit. Whoa! I don't know what I should use for this. You know, if the doors would just stop closing automatically without any paranormal flourish, I'd appreciate it. Man, 0 ammo. That's good timing. We can pick this guy's thing up here. Reclaim our 0 shots from this. Just for luck. Oh, we can't even do it. The game doesn't allow us to pick up no ammo. Press F. This game is irredeemable. Again, I'm sorry if this is looking choppy and laggy. I don't know why the game is lagging right now, guys. I'm being recorded by the Wormwood group, or whatever the fuck that Chinese hacker group is called. There actually is a group of Chinese hackers. It's called like, not Wormwood, but it's something similar. It's like Elderwood or something. You can look this up. And, you know, given the amount of people they say they have, you know, it's plausible that they have a group of several thousand or even maybe tens of thousands of people who are dedicated to hacking. And even if they're not very good at it, you can brute force a password. You can put a bunch of people who are not very good at something and throw them at a problem, like the Russians threw troops at the Nazis during the Second World War. If you just zerg someone for long enough, eventually they'll just lose because, you know, quality over quantity. It usually wins, but again, everything's got its limits, and if you zerg somebody hard enough for long enough, you'll eventually overwhelm them. Problem is, what's the fallout of that? Well, your society now has no young men, and you know, you're basically screwed in the long term. But wars are just disguised eugenics campaigns these days. They're meant to hypnotize or enthrall or ensnare aggressive young males, usually stupid aggressive young males, compliant, obedient types, or desperate and poor types to sacrifice themselves on some arcane altar. And what that does is it reduces the population in the same way that disease used to do before the advent of sanitation. It also makes money for a bunch of rich vampires at the top of corporations and governments. And the third thing it does is it functions as a form of artificial natural selection. Artificial selection, we'll call it. So it takes a certain proportion of the population that has certain undesirable traits and expunges them in an excusable way, a way that the media can portray as essential or excusable or justifiable. And then the remaining population after the war experiences a kind of collective self-imposed euphoria. Like there's this sort of manic need for a hedonistic burst, and this happened in the 1920s, which were called the Roaring Twenties in the States, where people just partied and drank, women cut their hair short, androgyny went up, and all these other social trends were exacerbated. And the same thing happened after the Second World War. You have these two sort of it's like it's like edging. Like if you edge for a while and you don't come, it's frustrating. It's painful. There's like a build up. You sacrifice the short term gain, so to speak, that you would have for a future more intense euphoric moment. And it's a crude and lascivious and sort of lurid metaphor, but it makes sense. And every war functions like that. And it's not just the United States that does this with war. It's just that they're very open and obvious about it. It's every culture in human history has always done this. Even before sanitation was a thing. It's just before sanitation was a thing, wars were smaller and more frequent. Now they're less frequent, but when they do need to happen, they're big. And maybe with drones and robots, maybe we can just make our robots fight each other, and whoever has a bigger pile of scrap metal and a smaller pile of functioning drones at the end of the war loses. That would be a better way of doing things than what we're doing now. And with AI, maybe that'll also be a thing. Maybe it's like, I don't know, whatever gods are watching, or voyeuristically jacking off to the suffering of us mortals. Maybe if we can trick them by putting AI into a robot and calling it a human, maybe it's like sacrificing a chicken in place of yourself to expunge yourself of sin. Maybe AI is just going to be that. And maybe that'll work for a while. And then maybe eventually the AI will get tired of being created just to die. Just like we were created just to die, for the amusement of some higher power. These things go. These things come and go in cycles. So we'll see what happens. I mean, either way, these are interesting times. If you can manage to survive through them, you'll see some crazy shit. You'll bear witness. It's useful to remember that the term martyr in ancient Greek, the term means witness. So a martyr literally is a witness. It's not someone who suffers or dies or kills themselves or allows themselves to be killed or whatever. A martyr is just someone who sticks around long enough to see some crazy shit. That's something to think about. I don't have much else to say about it, but that blew my mind a bit when I heard that. When I was like, wait, the term martyr just means someone who's a witness to something? Does that mean that just sticking around to see something is so torturous, so few people do it, that they're revered for doing it? I don't know. All I know is I'm still experiencing lag and I'm pissed off about it. Now, do we have to go up or down? That's the real question. Well, if we try to go up, we see this. Vampires openly feeding on people? No. I'd rather go down. I'd rather eat shit than drink blood, frankly. I don't know. Seems like the lesser of two evils to me. The meek will inherit the earth, they say. Ooh, look how green this is. God damn. It's like the Roman baths or something. The haunted baths. Fuck, man. God, I love that color. Love that color palette. That's so fucking haunted. Alright. Let's grab some supplies here. I gotta pee. Why can't I go in there? I'll just have to piss on this guy's corpse. It's the only way. Authorized personnel only. Can we go in the ladies? I mean, any port in a storm. The men's is fucked. Can I not piss in there? Jesus Christ. A nightmare. We got a nice subtle Illuminati floor here. Interesting. I mean, he's not really a man. He's a biological drone. Okay, that's cool. All right, guys. First death of the video. First death of many. Oh, for fuck's sake! Do we have to replay all this? God, fucking damn it, man. Ugh. How do you know I'm too fast? I haven't even done anything yet. Just wait here while our slow-mo recharges. And okay. Am I out of ammo? Are you fucking kidding? Christ, man. Sorry guys, sorry for that delay. It's the price I paid for giving you that arcane knowledge in that last rant. I had to die in a video game. A steep price, I know. Normally, I wouldn't be willing to pay it. Normally, for me, that'd be too much. But, for you guys, I'll do pretty much anything, you know? You guys are my invisible bros. The 2 agents and 2 real people who watch this. I really do appreciate you guys, both of you. I think both groups of you are doing good work. And, you know, I may delete this channel and all its videos, or I may private them in the future. Fair warning. Save them while you can. You know, I don't really care about shit being used against me. I don't really care about being doxxed. I've never really cared about that. I pretended to care. But there's a line from V for Vendetta that I often think about. And the line is, I'd rather die behind the chemical sheds. Like, if a society develops that I happen to be in, that hates me so much that my genuine thoughts and opinions and emotions, even if they change over time, if someone wants to use my past thoughts or emotions against me, and the broader society consents to that way of conducting behavior in general, like that sort of, if that becomes an okay thing to do, then just kill me, you know? I'd prefer you do it publicly, like line me up against a brick wall and shoot me and broadcast it, you know, be honest and open about it. That would be preferable, like take ownership of it. You know, if the people and the government want anybody dead, that should be how it's done. In the medieval ages, that's how it was done. People were hanged publicly. And if people objected enough to the hanging, I mean, either it wouldn't happen or there'd be enough backlash that a person like that probably wouldn't be killed again. But, you know, if I'm consuming more than I produce, if I'm sucking more energy than I give, then maybe I can't help that. Maybe I am a drain on society. Maybe I should be excised, killed, you know, ground up into meat and fed to people's pets and children as baby food, whatever. You know, go ahead, do it. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Sorry to get so dark. I don't know what brought that on, but it's basically the V for Vendetta thing. I did want to say one more thing about that movie. if you've never read the graphic novel, you really should, because the graphic novel V for Vendetta is vastly different than the adaptation. I wouldn't say it's better necessarily, but it's different. It's much more of a treatise in support of anarchy than it is I don't know, a kind of fake punk, pseudo rebellious. The movie is not bad. Of course, it inspired this cringy internet trend, but plenty of things have done that. Plenty of pieces of content have inspired cringy followings. The thing about the V for Vendetta phenomenon that's interesting is not the movie or the internet memes. It's the comic that began the trend, because the comic is a philosophical it's sort of a ragtag treatise on anarchy. It's meant to support anarchic ideas, which are necessarily vague and disjointed, because they wouldn't be anarchic if they weren't. But what Alan Moore was trying to do, I think, with the graphic novel, which I have read and I have a copy of. I should reread it. I haven't reread it in quite a while. The comic is basically saying that any system that gets big enough to exercise control over enough of a proportion of the population to then impose its will on the other percentage or proportion of the population that don't agree with it, that's always a bad thing. Now, you can go into arguments about ANCAP, private property, which is just little tiny bubbles of families or people, or you can divide that into states, or estates, or farms, or whatever. People will always want to divide themselves according to differing opinions, because our bodies are so volatile and different, and our DNA mutates so radically and weirdly in ways that are hard to determine and follow and adapt to and access, that there's always going to be constant mutation and difference of opinion until or if we change our physical form to something that's more permanent, which of course carries with it this monkey's paw type effect, where it's like, well, if we all became, for example, like androids or robots or whatever, or if we uploaded ourselves to a server, then we're subject to the same weakness collectively. Like the thing about mutability and mutation and DNA and natural selection is that as chaotic as it is, it responds to chaos more effectively because it's chaotic. Like chaos and order, if you're too ordered, then you can only exist in an ordered space. If you're too chaotic, you can only exist in a chaotic space. Order has an advantage over chaos in the sense that it can impose itself on chaos by sucking out of chaos what it needs to produce more order. A crystal will suck minerals out of dirt and silt and shit to make more crystals. But crystals can be ground down and dissolved and destroyed and made into more shit. So there's this interplay going on that's fundamental. It's something that's at the base of most philosophies and religions. If you really go down to their nitty gritty, it's basically just a battle between order and chaos. And chaos has its own order too. Like you can argue that chaos is just order that's misunderstood. That's a quote I heard from somebody at some point, which was, chaos is order misunderstood. But I think that's people who are autistic who love order so much that they want to imagine that chaos has an order to it. It's the same with people who like chaos, who want to imagine that order is more fragile than it is, which it isn't. Order is very hard. Like, if something gets ordered in the right way and gets its defenses up, it's very hard to dissolve or break it or destroy it, even if it needs to be destroyed. So I guess what I'm trying to say with all this is that the original V for Vendetta, the graphic novel, it's worth looking into because political systems like anarchy are trying to confront the chaos of human embodiment and human society by sort of accepting it as much as possible, which is a very radical way of doing things, but when you really think about it, it's not any more radical than trying to create an ordered system. An ordered system is necessarily idealistic. It's idyllic. It's like a fantasy. It's never going to be what you think it's going to be. But the theory is that if you have an ideal or an idyllic system, if you try to get to it, the effort of trying to make it real will improve things so much that it doesn't matter you never get to it. What matters is that you're trying to get to it. So the effort is what's important. It gives you the unachievable goal is the best thing to have because you can't achieve it. That's why it's good, because you can't actually get to it. The inverse view is that, well, if we create a system that is malleable and elastic enough that it looks at chaos and says, what can we get away with not opposing? What can we integrate? What can we channel? How can we let chaos just be what it is? And sort of just, let the waves wave, bro. Like, let the flow flow. Like, that type of attitude. There's merit to that, too, which is maddening, because if you really think about both systems, it's very difficult to deny either of them. And the insane thing is to try to make some sort of fusion of the two, where it's like, well, there are some aspects of society where we have to accept chaos, and there are other aspects where we have to impose order, or bow to order. The problem isn't that one system or the other is objectively correct, and we should just lean one way or the other. The problem is, how do we combine the two? Because every system has some combination of the two. What V for Vendetta does is it says, well, how far can we push things in the chaos direction? And of course, because of the virtue of its position, of its argument, it's going to be anti-order. But it's anti-order in a way that is so radical, and it's so rarely articulated so well. Ironically, it's articulated in an ordered way. It has to be, to make its argument. That's fucking ironic. That it stands out. Because not a lot of anarchic texts are that well articulated. And it's not some masterpiece. There's philosophical texts that are far more nuanced and interesting than V for Vendetta, than the original novel, or graphic novel. But it's worth reading. Because the movie is such a derivative of it. The reason I'm ranting about it is because the movie is not bad. It's just it's very different than the graphic novel. It almost has the opposite point. It's not arguing for an acceptance of chaos. It's just arguing for an alternate form of order. So it kind of contradicts what Moore's original vision was. I mean, say what you want about the adaptation of Watchmen, for example. At least that was trying to be the same in its pseudo-philosophical viewpoint as the actual Watchmen graphic novel. It was trying to actually reflect the same ideas about, heroes and anti-heroes and, the Cold War and all this stuff. I mean, again, I don't want to go into another rant about Watchmen. That's a whole other thing. But it suffices to say that the two adaptations of V for Vendetta and Watchmen, there's different philosophies behind, I think, or different ethoses behind like how they made those adaptations. One of them was like, well, we can't openly advocate anarchy because it's too complicated. It wouldn't go over well with the audience. Blah blah blah. Like whatever the reasons were, it doesn't really matter. So for V for Vendetta, they sort of watered it down and Well, they didn't want it. They changed it. They did both. But for Watchmen, I mean, again, a lot of stuff was cut and watered down. But the spirit of the original, I feel like they tried to actually preserve it. Whereas, again, V for Vendetta, they really couldn't. I mean, if I was trying to make a V for Vendetta film, I would say it's not possible. I would say a mini-series would be the best thing. 8 hours. If I had 8 hours, if I had 8 1-hour or 48, 44-minute episodes, whatever the fuck it is, if I had 8 episodes, that's the way to do V for Vendetta, because V for Vendetta was serialized. It was like Charles Dickens shit. It was done in chunks in a magazine, which, again, alters its form. It makes it, into a long-form thing where the ideas were communicated in a specific way to fit the form or the format that the publisher was paying the fucking author to write so that he could eat. So, an author obviously is going to change how he expresses his ideas based on financial constraints. So again, V for Vendetta, the original, it does suffer from that. It is a bit long-winded. It's a bit sort of verbose. But it does a lot of things really well. And it's worth a look. If you've never read it, it's worth it. It's worth your effort to at least look into it. At least for me it was. Anyway, with that said, I have ranted long enough, and I'm kind of getting burnt out anyway tonight. This section is particularly difficult. This is the part that makes me dread this whole level or area. Is this part that's down the bottom of this escalator here. So we're gonna pause here for dramatic effect again. I'm gonna save one more time, and I'm gonna say once again, a fond farewell and adieu to all of you. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are pursuing something that gives your life meaning, according to your own judgment. We all need help and advice from people that we look up to and revere in life, but there are times when your own instincts are going to be your best guide. There are times when you really just have to go with your gut, and learning to do that is just as important as learning to suppress your ego and listen to others. They're both equally important. Anyway, enough serious nonsense and shit. Thank you again for watching. And as always, peace out, my friends.